Well, in last week's episode, Patty turned the tables on me and talked to me about cooking in our RV, and I thought this week I'm going to turn the tables on her, and we're going to talk about something she loves to do, and that's cleaning the RV in this episode of Travels with Delaney,
the podcast.
Welcome back, everyone. My name's Patrick.
And I'm Patty.
And as always, we are joined on the couch by Truman and Bess.
Absolutely, our little babies.
That's right, our Cavalier King Charles Spaniels.
Right.
And if you're watching the video podcast, if it looks a little different, that's because we had to reorganize our studio, because our studio is now our eBay store hub.
Yeah.
It's where we house inventory now. Yep. We do all of our photos in here. We process inventory in here. Basically, what happened was we have so much inventory in our bedroom.
And we've had to figure out, how do we save the bedroom?
Yeah. And so all that inventory is staying in the bedroom, but we needed more space, and so we had to rearrange the studio. So unfortunately, we are right beside of the door.
Right.
I don't think it'll be as pretty,
no,
but you got to do what you got to do.
And I don't think we're completely done in here just yet. I think that was a start, but yeah, we're having to rearrange stuff.
Yeah. So, all right. But before we get this episode started, we have to do another exciting round of this or that.
Okay. I'm ready.
All right, Patty. And I thought what we would do is we would keep it on theme today.
Okay.
So, which one bothers you more?
All right.
When it comes to filth?
Okay.
Is it sand being tracked into the RV? Yeah. Or mud being tracked into the RV?
This isn't fair.
I know. This is like this or that, worst of the worst.
Oh my gosh, I hate both of them. Oh man. All right. Golly, mud's just terrible. But sand, I think sand's going to be worse.
Okay.
From this aspect that with mud, at least you can contain the mud and clean, like if it's a rug or whatever. But sand, I think sand stays in places, and it's hard to get it out. Like of your bedding or of the sheets, or I'm going with sand.
Sand. Sand is your final answer.
I think sand is my final answer.
All right. Yeah, I have to agree with you. Sand, you remember the year we camped at the beach? We were literally on the beach.
Loved it.
For 3 or 4 nights.
We still had sand in the camper when it came Christmas time and we were winter camping.
I think there was sand still in the RV 2 years later. Like, we were finding it in
everywhere.
And part of that was because we were boondocking on the beach.
All the
windows opening. And I think it just blew in, like,
all the time.
And it just got behind cushions and under things. And
in crevices and cracks and creases and you name it.
So at least the mud stays on the ground until you bring it in. But the sand can literally come in through airflow.
Yeah, and you know me with sand. I love being at the beach.
Yeah.
But I don't like when sand sticks to me.
I'm not, you know me, I'm not a big sand fan.
Yeah. If I can rinse off after being in the sand and then put my shoes back on and I'm all good, I'm good. But if I can't, I can't handle it.
All right, so Patty,
yes.
Today what I thought we'd do is not that I won't clean around the house or in the RV, but I mean, that's something you've always said you kind of enjoy doing, and you're a neat freak.
Well, it actually just, for me, I don't have OCD, or obsessive compulsive disorder with.
I would disagree.
But I think I do. And the joke is it's called CDO because I have to put it in ABC order.
Okay.
But I like things when things are clean and organized. I have less stress. But if I can sit there and I see a mess of dishes in the sink or something, that just stresses me out. I have to clean it up so that I can relax. Because if it's still there, it's going to bug me. It's like our friend who couldn't handle having like a pie in their trailer or any dessert. He'd have to eat the whole thing because it was always calling his name. Oh. So I think to me it's all about anxiety and stress. Yeah.
Well, let's talk about how we specifically, or you specifically, keep the RV neat and tidy.
Sure.
And so I know everybody's going to have different ways they do it, but we do get questions about this, like what products do you use, that type of thing.
Right.
So where do you want to start?
Let's start with the Ultimate Cloth.
The Ultimate Cloth.
Yes, this thing is amazing.
Now, why do you love the Ultimate Cloth?
Well, I love it because, one, you just have to use water with it. And if it does get a little dirty, I can just hand wash it, hang it up, dry it, and I can keep going.
Okay.
But you put a little water on it, and what's great about those is it's good for puppy nose prints and fingerprints, like on stainless steel appliances, windows, mirrors, like the microwave, everything that you would touch, doorknobs, for those smears and smudges.
Right.
Perfect. That's what I use them basically for. I like it for that kind of thing.
Yeah, they're multi-purpose. You can use them inside, outside, and what's great about them is they're not a disposable cloth.
No.
These things, I think they guarantee them for like 5 years. You can
Right.
wash them over and over, use them over and over.
I have, yeah.
And
the more you use them, the softer they get.
yeah,
And I just use it basically on anything, even like dusting sometimes in little crevices and creases and stuff like that. It works great.
yeah, they're made out of a special fabric that gets brought in, I believe, from France.
I think so.
That has like microscopic little cups that kind of cups the dirt.
Yeah, kind of grabs it.
I think we were most impressed when we first got them.
Yeah.
Number one, stainless steel. They are amazing on stainless steel.
Yes.
And
Mirrors
then
and windows.
yeah, things like that. And then I remember we because
it on
we
the
did
car.
film a video
Yeah.
a couple years ago about it when we first got it. You had tar on your car.
I did.
And I said, "There's no way this is going to take that tar off," because nothing was taking that tar off.
Right.
And that Ultimate Cloth
My
actually took it
goodness.
off. It was crazy.
Yep. And then that tar, you think, oh, I ruined the Ultimate Cloth. Nope. Washed off the Ultimate Cloth. Just with some soap and water, and yeah.
We've been using them at work. I'm teaching a customer service class right
Yeah,
now,
you are.
and the students are using Ultimate Cloths to polish the silverware,
Okay.
and then they also use them to clean the glass in the entry doors to the restaurant.
Oh,
And
yeah.
so, yeah, I'm a big fan of those, and so we keep a couple of those in the RV, and you use those to wipe
yeah.
down surfaces
yeah.
and windows.
I
and,
use them in the cabin too. It's just so
and,
easy.
and you just use those with just water, right? You're
Just
not
water.
using any chemicals.
You don't put any chemical on them. It's also why I like them, because of the pups. Because, they lick things.
Right.
And with their noses or whatever. And I don't want them to get sick. So, yeah, they are just water. And then after you use them, and they do get dark because you're picking up dirt. I just hand washed them. And we were just talking about the stuff your kids are using at class. I think we're just going to put them in the washer and see what goes. They should be fine.
Yep. You
And
don't
then
wash
they
them.
just get soft, and you just wet them and keep going. And they're great.
All right.
Yeah.
So that's one thing you carry in the trailer. There's a
Right.
couple Ultimate Cloths. You use those quite a bit. What else?
I like disinfectant wipes. I usually have 2 containers in there because I like to have them in different places, like in the bathroom or in the kitchen area under the sink. And I know Ultimate Cloth can help with some of that, but I like disinfectant wipes for that reason, to get all the germs.
Okay.
Just because, COVID and all that, and colds, and just, you don't know what's going on.
Right.
So I use it to wipe down surfaces, knobs, doorknobs, just like I do in my classroom, tables, even our chairs, which is our theater seating. It's like a kind of a...
It's kind of a vinyl.
Vinyl-y
Yeah,
fabric.
kind of like a vinyl-y
And
type.
sometimes when the pups have dirty feet or whatever,
Right.
or like we went out for a long trip, and then I just feel like I'm just going to wipe this down because there might be some dirt. And usually it picks up and grabs, and I use them in the sinks, and I use them in the toilet.
Speaking of toilets,
I
because that's
don't-
always a big question people
I don't
have.
flush it, of
Right.
course.
Well, definitely. You
Yeah,
don't flush anything
and
like
I
that
don't
down.
use any of the chemical like you would in your house, because you already got chemicals in your toilet.
Right. So it's recommended you not
Right.
use your typical cleaning that you would use in your house for the toilets, because you're putting a chemical down your toilets to treat them,
Right.
and then the chemicals can have weird reactions.
Right, and I don't want to cause like a science experiment or
Right.
something.
I do believe they do make a special toilet bowl cleaner for RVs. We just never
just
have
never
bought
used it.
some of that stuff. You paid top
And
dollar for
I
it.
know some might think, ooh, gross, but me, I just grab, and that time I have like 2 wet wipes together, so it's extra thick, and I just wipe it down the outside first, and then wipe down the inside. It's never that bad, and the handles or whatever.
Do you
the
wear
knobs.
gloves?
I'm probably gonna get banged on this, but no.
Boy, I get banged on in videos when I'm dumping the sewer tank, and I don't wear rubber
but
gloves.
see, you gotta understand, we keep things clean, really.
Right.
And so it's not that bad.
And if you really wanted to, you could get one of those Johnny mops, the
I
little
could.
brushes,
Yep.
with the soft that won't
Yeah.
scrape.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're not.
I just do that because
Yeah.
I don't want to scrape it up. I know it's different. I know
Right.
we have a porcelain.
Well, ours is porcelain, just like
But
at
I
home.
just don't
But
want to
yeah,
ruin anything
Right.
with the knobs or the foot pedal
Sure.
or anything. And then it's just an easy way to clean. I even do it a fresh one on the floor around the toilet.
Right.
It's an easy way to clean even the linoleum. even though there's something else I use. But yeah.
Right. Well, let's talk about while we're in the bathroom and you're talking about the toilet and you wipe down countertops and things. What about the shower?
The shower, this time with this RV, because we've had multiples if you know us, this one has glass sliding doors. And so when we first used it, I remembered when we had glass sliding doors
at our last house,
we would use like a daily shower spray after you shower. You kind of just spray down the shower, spray down the door, and let it do its job. And then, sure, every so often you do a deep cleaning of your shower. But that was to help keep that, and I think it's done a pretty good job. I know this past summer it was really fighting. Our water had a lot of iron in it. And so we had some red stains that were happening at the drain. And so we had to figure that out. And that was just something different that this cleaner couldn't even touch.
Right.
So we had to use something different to work on that. But yeah, I think it does a great job. It makes it smell good.
And that's just like a daily spray.
Yeah.
We just spray it down after our shower.
You can buy it at Tilex, I think, daily shower. Because I accidentally got the wrong one time and it was really strong. But yeah, it just easily... Just keep it right in there, and when you're done, you spray it down, and it does a great job. It doesn't leave streaks or anything. It cleans pretty good. So
okay.
Yeah.
All right. Now, before we go on, I do want to take a moment to thank today's sponsor, RV Destinations Magazine.
Yeah.
If you're looking for a location to go RVing and you're not sure where to take your RV, maybe consider a subscription to RV Destinations Magazine.
So nice.
Comes out 4 times a year. You can get it in print,
digital,
or both.
Yep.
And they do a special once a year best of the best edition, and that's going to be coming out I believe sometime in April. And if you want, you can order just that, or you can just upsize to the VIP package that we're on, and you get all 4 issues in print and digital, plus you get the big annual edition. They save the best photos, the best locations, the best articles. It's thicker than the month or the quarterly. It really is awesome.
I'm looking forward to that.
We are looking forward to it. We will leave a link down in the show notes. You can save a little bit of money on any of the subscriptions using our code. We don't make any money off of that code. It's not about commissions. We're just friends with Randy and Callie, who own the magazine. We think it's an awesome magazine.
It is. Very nice.
And so we just like to give them a shout out, and we appreciate all of their support in promoting our podcast and our YouTube channel.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's get back into cleaning. So now we've cleaned the bathroom and we've wiped down surfaces. Let's talk about dust. Do you do anything? I know the Ultimate Cloth, sometimes you use it to kind of wipe things down, but I think you use something special at times.
A Swiffer duster.
Yes.
I like to use them in the cabin too, just because they can get little crevices and like light fixtures and
up high
and down low in the corners and things I can't reach.
Now, do you have the Swiffer duster in the trailer that has the extension, or is that only here at the house?
That's only here at the house because of the big
you can
ceiling
reach.
Yeah, I can reach everything pretty much. If I can't, then I just climb up on something.
Okay. Again, the safety Sallies are going to come out after you climbing on furniture.
But yeah, I could touch pretty much.
Okay.
And then sometimes I use the little for dust and little dirt places. Like I'm thinking like next to our bed, there's these little, I don't know, it's just I guess the design. There's little spaces but next to our bed on the floor where junk like dog hair can get in there and your regular vacuum can't. And I have a stick wand vac, the baby shark is call it.
The baby shark, yeah, it's a shark wand vac.
Yeah, and it has a little attachment that's like a little brush and then another little attachment. But I usually just get that little guy out and get in there and get that dirt. And even like the little steps, we have rugs on the steps that go up and down from our bedroom area to the main area of the trailer. I use that for that because you just can't with the other vacuum. It's weird.
Right.
So
we have been using for the last year
all this
camping gear, the wand vac from Shark, which we love. We actually loved it so much we bought one for here at the house.
Right.
But last weekend we were out thrifting.
Yes.
And I bought us a vacuum for the RV. A Bissell.
And it's got like a container you just dump out.
Yeah, it's just got the dump cup. It was $6.50.
Can't beat that.
And that way now you can, as opposed to getting down on your hands and knees with the wand vac to try to do the whole floor, you can just use the Bissell.
And we tried it out, and it worked nice.
It worked real good.
And fluffed up the rugs.
Whoever owned it had left a note in the dump cup that said, "There's nothing wrong with this. It was just too hard for me to push on carpet," and it was in a handwriting that looked like it was from somebody 90 years old.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? For $6.50, I plugged it in. It fired right up.
Done.
Went back to the trailer. sucked up a brand new puppy off of the carpet.
We did.
There was so much dog hair.
Dog fur.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm always like, look, we have a new puppy.
All right, so we've got 2 vacs now in our RV.
Yes.
We wouldn't have carried 2 vacs in a smaller RV,
No.
but with the 5th wheel, we have room.
We have room, yep.
So, but we have no actual carpeting
Nope.
in our trailer. It's just the area rugs that we put in.
Yeah.
So for the linoleum, what
we use, golly, it's a wet
mop?
Mop.
The Swiffer wet mop,
yeah.
where you buy the pads that are wet.
And they attach. You have the little places you attach it onto the mop, and it has one side that's a little scrubby if there's something you got to get
stuck.
off.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that we usually pick up all the rugs. It's easy to mop that, and it dries up, and it works so swift. Isn't that funny? It's swift.
You worked in the word Swift for the Swiffer. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
My synapses are still connecting.
Yeah,
so.
there you go.
Yeah,
we've been under the weather. If you hear it in our voices, we're both fighting colds, and
it's been a struggle bus.
Yeah, all week. Mm-hmm. So we may be a little off on this podcast. A little off kilter. So all right. So yeah, we like the Swiffer. Wet mop, I guess is what they call it. It's not a wet jet because it's not the bottles. Yeah.
We use it here in the cabin too. So it's just easy.
It's interesting how the stuff we use in the cabin or our home, we live in a log home, log cabin. That's why we refer to it that way. Is the same stuff basically we're using in the RV.
Right, except I don't use the toilet bowl cleaner.
Yeah, you don't use the toilet bowl cleaner or anything like that.
Right.
Is there any other things inside the RV that you're, from a cleaning standpoint?
I think that's...
How do you do dishes? What do you use?
Dish soap.
Dish soap. Whatever's on sale. Yeah.
Usually it's a Meyer brand or whatever. But Palmolive for your hands. But yeah. That's easy for that, hand washing. Yeah.
Now, sometimes I get emails asking me how we keep the outside of our RV looking so good.
Yeah.
And I always kind of chuckle about that because I don't do anything special. I just buy like RV wash and wax. Sometimes I've used McGuire's for cars.
Yes.
I've heard people say they use Dawn dish soap, which I'm a big fan of the Dawn.
Oh yeah.
Dawn does a great job. It saves little birds from oil spills, and it's not overly harsh. But it does a good job of cleaning. So I joke about it, but I don't actually use anything super special on our RV.
I know sometimes you had something, I forget what it was called, to get like the bugs off.
Oh, the bugs off pads, which I use. Yeah, those are awesome. And
You've used those before?
Yeah, I have actually used the ultimate cloth on the outside. It works great as well for getting off like bugs or things like that.
Grime you can't get off. Yeah.
Although Patty did make me keep my own ultimate cloth outside because I got like tar and stuff on it. So she's like, "Yeah, that's yours. You stay outside."
It stays outside.
And that's the great thing about the ultimate cloths. They're so affordable.
You can do that.
You can have multiples and have one, like I have mine for the outside and you have multiples inside and
I
that
know
type
they
of
make
thing.
different colors, but we haven't bought any of different colors. But that would be like even better for someone who's very organized. You'd have a certain color for inside, certain color for this, certain color for that.
I just feel like if you wash your RV on a regular basis,
it keeps it nice.
Yeah, and I usually, like I said, buy the RV or car for that also has the built-in.
Right.
It's like the shampoo and conditioner or polish or whatever, wax built in. Yeah. I have never waxed the RVs myself.
I can't imagine.
One time we paid somebody. That's why we trade them off every 3 years. That way I don't have to wax them. But
I remember there was somebody that they were like little. They climbed right up there on the fifth wheel. Yeah. And just waxed their little brains out. Yeah. And they did a good job.
So, but anyway, that's beautiful. If you're wondering about the outside of the RV, I usually take care of that, and I don't really do anything special.
And the awning and all that stuff, you work on that.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, if anybody has a trick on how to clean your awning without getting drenched.
I think you just got to put your swimsuit on and your goggles.
Well, in the old days, and I say the old days, like 5-6 years ago, or whatever it was, before the electronic awnings,
you could lean them down.
You could drop them down, and it was so much easier. But with these, the electronic awnings,
this one's way up there.
Yeah, it's
on our fifth wheel now. It is like woo. It's like you curl up in the clouds.
So, all right. Anything else inside? Anything we missed on cleaning?
I think that's everything, hon.
Yeah, it doesn't take a lot.
No, it doesn't take a lot, and it's easy to clean. That's why I sometimes often love it when we're in the trailer for a long time. Yeah, so it's just so easy to clean.
one final thing I'm going to mention that I don't think it's really a cleaning thing, but it helps to keep the trailer smelling well. And we use a product called Happy Camper. We have been using Happy Camper since, I think, 2018.
This is in the tank.
In the black tanks and the gray tank when necessary. I don't put it all the time in the gray tanks, but it's a dry powder, which I like because you don't have to mess around with liquids and things like that.
Yeah.
We put 1 scoop down the black tank every time I dump it, after I dump it, and with some water.
Yep.
And I have to say, we've never
had a weird smell.
No. And if the gray tank, a couple times we have noticed the gray tank starts to smell, I just mix up a little of the Happy Camper, pour it down the drains, and it takes it away.
Yes.
So, again, we have no affiliation with Happy Camper. I just wanted to share that, though, because I think if you're having issues with odors that are not pleasant in your RV and you think they're coming from your tanks, Happy Camper might be a product you want to check out. We just buy ours on Amazon.
Right.
So, and I could...
a little easy container to carry, and it's...
Yeah, and hopefully I'll remember. I'll put a link to our Amazon store. Now, we do make a little commission on that if you use it. Or you don't have to use our link, but that's where we buy it. So, and then I will also leave a link to Ultimate Cloth, where I believe you can save some money with our link. And that one we do earn a small commission if you buy it. It doesn't cost you anything extra, just like our Amazon shop.
Right.
But so I did want to mention that in to be fair that we do work with the great people over at Ultimate Cloth. They're nice people, and it's just an amazing product. Yeah,
it's awesome.
All right, well, Patty, this was fun talking about how you keep our RV.
I like to be clean.
I know you do, and you keep things just
everything
polished and shined up, and
when you're in a small space, you got to put your stuff and keep it in a space.
And keep it clean. I mean, you just don't allow it to get dirty.
No.
The only places that I could tell you somebody could come into our RV and find dirt under the theater seats because they're bolted to they're bolted to the floor.
I don't even want to see
and when I kick them up and I have to look under there, the dog hair. Now I try to get under there with the shark vac and that type of thing.
Hard.
But otherwise, though, I don't think you're gonna find too many places in our RV inside that.
Maybe the
my outdoor storage is not always the cleanest, but again, I don't have that cleanliness OCD that you do.
Yeah, sorry. It's from childhood.
Yeah,
it was instilled in me.
Well, thank you to all of you for taking time out of your day to listen to our podcast. We really do appreciate it. We appreciate those of you that leave us ratings on the podcast services, leave us comments. We need to get back to reading comments. I know there's some comments. I forget to go check. I need to pull those so we can read those. And also, we got to say thank you to Jim Kuzman. He's our friend and he's our producer. He's the one that edits the audio version for us, makes it sound top notch. I heard somebody the other day leave a comment on the video saying there was an audio issue, and I was like, well, that's because I edited the video version. We never get a complaint about the audio when Jim is editing. So thank you very much, Jim. Thank you to all of you, and until next time, we'll see ya
on down the road.
Bye, everybody.
Travels with the lady. We'll see you on down the road.